Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. My name is Wanyihaji Ndut if you're new here, and I welcome you guys back. I'm sorry that I'm doing this video from a different location. I've been late in delivering this message, and I usually like for the videos to go up at 9 o'clock on Wednesday. And there's been a lot of changes leading to that, but if I can't do 9, I like to do 3, and I'm just hoping to do 3. So we are running errands and appointments, so I'm somewhere, but I just know I won't be able to make it by 3, to have done the video and finished it by 3. So I decided while I'm waiting for hubby, let me just do it. So how are you? I hope mko fiti. I'm good myself, and I've been having this message for some time, yeah, and it's been feeling so sweet in my chest, and I hope it will feel the same to you guys. Yeah, it's about hearing the voice of God, just like the title suggests. And when that title came to mind, I couldn't help but think about Samuel. And every time I think about Samuel, from 1 Samuel chapter 3, how the Lord called him at night, I can't help but think about how this very sweet kid who lived far away from his parents and was living with Eli the prophet and his sons, who were supposed to be like some sort of rogues. Yeah, they had, you know, like they were doing the worst things in that time, according to the Bible. They were eating from the sacrifices that the Lord was supposed to be, the sacrifices that were supposed to be burned for God, yeah? But Samuel was there, just, you know, very obedient. And you know how it is when, as a kid, you live in somebody else's house, you're very obedient, yeah? So he would be so obedient, and he had a call at night, and, you know, a baby, he was rushing. He would rush and go into Eli's room. Like, did you call me? And Eli would be like, no, I didn't call you, go back to sleep. And in my mind, I see this baby just, you know, every time he would hear the call, he would put on like his mom's coat, the coat that Hannah would send yearly to Eli's house where Samuel was staying. And he would just take the coat and go like, did you call me? No, I didn't call you. Please go back to sleep. Again, did you call me? Until Eli realized that God was calling the boy, and you know, he advised him on what to do. That when you hear this voice again, which would be the 3rd time, when you hear this voice again, say, Lord, I am here. I am listening. Say what you want to say to me. And that is what he did. And God revealed things to him, yeah? I can't remember how old Eli was at this point. I mean, Samuel was at this point. Maybe he was even a teenager. If you remember the age, please comment below. But that was the first time he heard the voice of God. And when you remember the first time you heard the voice of God or became aware of it, you think about how distinct it was, that it was small, it was tiny, you know, it was something you could have easily ignored, but you didn't, because you knew for sure that something had happened. You had had a call, you know, something had happened, something had shifted, you had had something said to you, and perhaps it even scared you or shocked you, and you checked with other people, like, how do you hear the voice of God? I think I had the voice of God, you know, or I feel like I was led in a certain direction by God. I feel it in my heart. I know it to be true, yeah? And so you can see that Samuel wasn't used or experienced in this thing of hearing the voice of God, but he knew for sure he had been called. And of course, he had this person to guide him, yeah, Eli, to guide him into how to respond to the voice of God. And I know that that could be used so many times, that you know you've heard the voice of the Lord so many times until you reach a point where you respond, or you just know what to do. A lot of people know that the Lord will call them at night, and they know just what to do. For me, for example, I know, like, when I'm called to go pray at night, yeah, I like, as I'm coming to, I get a vision of where I'm supposed to go and pray from. Yeah. And so it's so distinct, and you just know you can't ignore even the times when you're so sleepy and you feel like, God, I can just pray from here. So no, let's just agree on that, because I really don't want to get down. And sometimes you go there and you're really convinced that you heard the voice of God, but you don't, like, you're sitting there, it's at night, you're groggy, you're sleepy, you just want to go back to bed, but you have to wait and just learn from God what He's telling you. Yeah. And so it gets tricky, because you're feeling like, did I just imagine these things? Yeah. Especially if you're used to saying that. If you listen to a lot of like preachers who want to be very genuine and open with their message, sometimes they will say, I know that I've never had God talk to me like this verbatim, saying go and do this and this. And they do that to like guide their congregants or their followers not to imagine that God told them things. Yeah. But you know, when God speaks to you, you know, and when God is guiding you, you know. And sometimes I say, when you look back over your life, you realize that the way the Bible says that He will guide you, showing that this is the path that you should take, you realize that all this time you've been guided. Now, you will not always say that I know what I'm doing, you know, and you won't always feel like this is the best decision to make. Sometimes you'll feel like you're being told to wait before you take the next step. Sometimes you'll be feeling like you're just, you know, being pushed to take something, to do something immediately. Yeah. You know how it feels, and you know when God speaks, and you know when you know, you feel like He's speaking, but you know you're supposed to wait and get a confirmation, because the Bible says that He confirms through His prophets. And that is how sometimes it works. When you're not sure that He has spoken, you know that you will get a confirmation through His prophets. Yeah. So have you heard God talking to you lately? If you have, you know where He's directing you towards. And times can be confusing, especially times like this. We have been waiting for a while, you know. It's a very crucial time. It's a very peculiar time that a lot of things are going to change, a lot of changes that you're not even ready for to take place in your life. But they're soon coming. Yeah. And sometimes because of waiting, you find that let me say this thing that I had someone else say. Sometimes you get very lethargic because you are waiting, and waiting is not easy. You find like everything in you, even physically, you feel like you cannot move past you know, you can't even do your routine normally, because you are waiting. Like everything in you is waiting for this new thing, because everything has been clearing out for some time. Yeah. Like we said, whether it's financial, whether it is your energy, you feel like it's dissipating, and you feel like you have less energy for the things that you used to do for certain tasks. And it's like you're waiting for that renewal. You're waiting for that renewal of energy. And it can be, sometimes it feels like it's not going to happen, because nothing feels quite so festive, like a new thing is coming, because a new thing is supposed to be ushered with praise. Yeah. Just like the way we usher a new year or a new month or our birthday month. Yeah. Or our birthday, we usher it with so much celebration. Yeah. But when it's a time like this, you feel like you've been waiting for something to change. You've been, you know, trusting God for something, and you feel, you're convinced that God has spoken about this, that He's going to do something wonderful in your life, but you keep waiting and you don't see it happening. And you know, it's like you don't have the fullness of that joy. Yeah. You're not festive. You don't have that energy to keep going, because you're seriously waiting. But I'm saying I had that from somebody else, and I kind of got it, you know, and I thought maybe I should share with you. But you know, if it's applicable to your circumstances, then well and good. But yeah, I had it from someone. Now back to that situation. From there, every time that God would call Samuel, he knew, you know, because he had the experience. He had been trained in hearing the voice of God. And of course, as he continued to hear and relate with God, just like that, he got even stronger. Yeah. He got even more experience. He got better at hearing the voice of God, and so he got even more confident, so much so that people recognized him as a prophet of God, you know, and he was a major prophet in the land of Israel, so much so that they wouldn't do a thing without waiting for Samuel to approve it, yeah, or to bless it, or to anoint the thing, yeah. He was so much respected as a prophet, but it wasn't always that way, yeah. He had to move from hearing this voice and just wondering what it is. He thought it was Eli calling him, until he realized that, yes, indeed, God can call me this way. And so God is going to communicate to you many, many times. And if you can look back, I'm sure you know that God has spoken to you many, many times, yeah. And it was a sweet communion, a sweet relationship that you formed, and every time that you feel him drawing you into his presence and talking to you, you just know, yeah. And so it becomes so special, so much so that you even stop fearing the things that could happen in your life, because you even know he gives you a heads up even when things are not okay. He gives you a heads up even when some people are turned against you. And this is such times, yeah, you will notice that you get a heads up on what is happening in the darkness too, yeah. And so when you get that heads up, you know what to do, you know how whether you should get into prayer, into fasting and all of that, so that you can be in agreement with God. Sometimes you don't even change the things that are set in motion to happen, but when you're in agreement with God, it's like a weapon fashioned that you know will not prosper in the end, yeah. You may have to go through some fire, you may have to go through some tough seasons and some tough things, you know, but you know that the weapons formed will not prosper, you know, not on you, not on your generations. So I'm blessed to have this time to just share this with you, and I'm glad that the idea came to share this with you. So it will go up 3 p.m. but do go into 1 Samuel 3 and read that and just enjoy the sweetness of it, seeing a young boy just beginning to relate with God in that manner, and just growing, and getting into the experiences of it, so that he becomes a big prophet in the land. He didn't start big. We don't start big in the things that we do, you know. Sometimes you even wonder, is this the right thing, yeah? And sometimes you even stop on things that you feel like you heard God say. And sometimes God will start you on a thing and then grow you according to the speed that he knows you will grow in, a speed that you can manage, yeah? So that in due time, when the time is right, he will make you into what he intends you to be, and into, you know, service. Sometimes we are asking God to use us as vessels, yeah. And at the right time, when he knows that you've matured, you've gone through so many things, you know, and these are always lessons and training, yeah. You've won in the battlefield, in the training field, or on the training grounds. Then you graduate and you become experienced enough to do the things that he wants you to do. So when you hear the voice of God, even when you're not sure, check with others, you know, get the confirmation from his prophets, and you will see yourself grow and get experience in hearing the voice of God and just walking in it. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for being with me at this time. Here is Samuel. I'll see you on the next one. Kwaheri. Bye-bye.
Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Lord turn his face towards you